May I know that session chairs are present over here or not? If any session chairs are present over here, please confirm. Okay. All participants are requested to stay in this meeting room because because our session chair is yet to arrive very quickly, or he will be joining very quickly. Okay, then after that we will start the session. So for that timing, please hold your patience and stay in this meeting room. Hmm. I believe Ankan Bhattacharya sir has joined.
Hello.
Can you?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Am I
Hello.
audible? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Sir, is it okay? The sound?
Yeah, is it absolutely okay? But the thing
Okay.
is,
Okay.
can you please turn on your camera?
Okay. Just a moment.
Okay, it's absolutely perfect, sir. Sir, I believe along with you, Dr. Shohadev Roy is also have been a session chair in your session,
Okay, okay, just
or he might take some time to join. So for the time being, Professor Dr. Ankan Bhattacharya is the session chair of this session. So, so he is basically from Hooghly Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, so I welcome you, sir, in this session, and you need to run this session. I believe you have that. You have the detailed schedule of our conference, so you can go through it and you can run the session. Okay, sir.
yeah. Thank you, Professor Mike. I'm apology for the delay because I was just busy with some departmental activities.
No, it's
So
absolutely perfect. I know that I know your obligations are there. There are various
yeah, yeah,
obligations that you need to deal with. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
will not be a problem. It will
yeah,
not.
yeah. Thank you. We can definitely start the session.
Yeah. So it's over to you, sir. You can start the session. And
Okay, thank
Shohadev
you.
Roy, sir, will be joining very shortly. Okay.
Okay. Hello, the first paper ID, prediction of heart disease and improving classifier performance using particle swarm optimization. Paper
Yeah,
ID 1570880563. Is the
yeah.
presenter ready?
Good morning, sir. Yeah, I'm here. Sir.
Is the presenter ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay, please share the screen and you may start the presentation. And
Yes.
please keep in mind that the time limit and your presentation should be limited to within 10 minutes. Okay,
Okay,
after that, post Q&A session will be followed. So
Okay,
please keep in mind about the time foundation. Okay,
Okay,
be
sir.
short, be specific, specifically highlight the key points. And now the screen is yours. Please start.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, good morning, everyone. My paper ID is 171570880563, and my title of my paper is Prediction of Heart Disease and Improving Classified Performance using PSO. And I'm a research scholar in University of Mysore, and my supervisor is Debrapta Samantha, Associate Professor, working in Europe. Yeah. So here, the main intention of this research paper is prediction of heart disease using the PSO. So here, nowadays, heart disease is the most dangerous disease that has to be rectified earlier so that we can prevent deaths in the world. According to the World Health Organizations, here almost 31% of the deaths are occurred according to the heart disease. So in order to prevent this heart disease, here we are going with the machine learning algorithms. So the healthcare industry is one of the most important criteria which demands more sophisticated methods to correctly diagnose diseases at the early stages. So here comes the machine learning. Yeah, here comes the machine learning into the picture. So here I want to predict the heart disease. We are going with the many machine learning algorithms like random forest, SVM, logistic regression, and Navi-based. So here, with the help of the machine learning algorithms, we are able to predict this heart disease. So with the help of, when we are able to predict this heart disease, it is very easy to prevent this heart disease. So initially, as per research from the Cleveland dataset, we have some 303 original instances which are where the research have been done for 13 attributes. So there they have applied random forest, support vector machines, Navi-based algorithms, and logistic regressions. And here, so here the main intention of this paper is I'm going to show you how how the algorithms are helping us to predict the heart disease. So initially here we are trying to collect the data set that is already we have taken from the Cleveland data set. And here now, after taking the data set, first of all, we need to pre-process the data. So why? Because we are having some missing data or outliers or whatever it is. So here directly I cannot give that particular data set to any model. So that is why we need to pre-process the data. And later on, we are giving that data set to the features to the PSO model. And later on, we are deploying that model. And later on, we are trying to implement the random forest, SVM, logistic regression, and Navi-based algorithms, and trying to test the performance. And also, I am trying to detect that whether the person is having the heart disease or not. So initially, these are in the Cleveland dataset, we have these 13 attributes. As of now, I have referred many papers, almost some 30 to 40 papers. In that papers also, they have taken the same attributes. So for these attributes, we have an original data. According to this original data, we have applied the algorithms. So in my research, I want to add these additional attributes so that I can get more sensitivity and specificity of the heart disease, whether the person is having a heart disease or not. The additional attributes are family history, that means whether the family history is having the heart disease or not, and whether the person is having a habit of smoking or not, and if he is overweight, and the stress levels and excessive perspiration. So these are the 5 additional attributes I want to include so that we can get more accuracy that whether the person is having the heart disease or not. So here, first initially, as already have discussed that, like example, after collecting the data set, compulsory we need to pre-process the data, that is in order to remove the redundant values and see the missing values. And here with the help of this, we are able to, after pre-processing the data, I'm trying to divide the data into training data and testing data, and later on when giving it to the model, PSO model. So here initially we are collecting the data and the same process is done. Here I'm after applying the PSO algorithm. Here it is implementing 2 procedures, that is initializing the velocities, and in the second one is velocity is being updated when the iteration of PSO is done. As we know that iteration in PSO we have many iterations. So here we are finding out. And next, coming to the machine learning methods. System learning is the machine learning that trains the system to operate autonomously, improving the performance of user performance without human intervention. So here, as I told you that the hybrid models of random forest, SVM, logistic regression, and Navi-based classifiers we are using. So after a deployment of a PSO, we are giving that model to the hybrid models. So here the random forest, what does this random forest consist of? Decision trees and each generating a class prediction. It uses the bagging technique to increase the randomness and variation, resulting in high efficient branches and lower variance of trees with equal and greater bias. So this is having a more advantage than the decision trees, right? Because here we having a multiple decision trees where the data cannot be repeated. So that is why the random forest produces the efficient result than the decision. So when you're having the multiple attributes, here some of the attributes can be dependent and some of the attributes can be independent variables. So here with the help of this Navi-base, here we are able to apply and we are able to find out. And here now coming to the logistic regression, it is also one of the supervised learning where it is a classification learning where it can have the classes between the 0 and 1. And here support vector machine. the support vector machine. Hello, hello, hello. Is my voice is audible? Hello, hello.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay, okay. So here in the result analysis, in the cross validation, we have true positive, true negative, false positive, and false negative. So the main comparison I want to show you is accuracy, recall, precision, and FN score. So here the true positive is nothing but where the results are true and the patient is having a heart disease, and true negative is the result is true and the patient does not have a heart disease. And when you come to the false positive, although the predictions are true, the patient does not have a heart disease, and false negative, that is nothing but the patient has cardiac problems and the assessment results are false. So here coming to the accuracy, this is how you calculate the accuracy, that is true positive, true negative, and accurate by true positive, true negative, false negative, and false positive. So one of the performance factors for accessing the algorithm performance is accuracy. So this equation determines the accuracy and gives the results. And coming to the recall, here it is nothing but the term true positive rate, sensitivity rate, or recall refers to a measurement that indicates the percentage of positive instances that are actually directed to the positive instances. So next, precision, we are having the precision which gives the positive scores divided by the number of positive scores predicted by the classification algorithm in the equation, where the precision is equal to true positive by true positive plus false positive. And here when you want to calculate the FN score, in this FN score we need the precision value and as well as the recall. With the help of this, we are able to find out the FN score. And here now coming to, these are the comparative analysis which includes the methodology, that is random forest, support vector machine, logistic regression, Navier-Bayes, and TSO. So here in this table we are able to show you the individual performance of each classifier, the accuracy of SVM, accuracy of random forest, accuracy of Navier-Bayes, and here where we are combining a combination of TSO, random forest, logistic regression, and Navier-Bayes. So obviously performance is increased when we are combining this hybrid models in a single model. So here we are having the, now these are the comparative analysis in terms of accuracy and precision parameters, and these are the comparison for the recall and FN score. So obviously when you compare with this SVM, random forest, and Navier-Bayes individually, when we are applying combiningly, we are able to get more accuracy and more precision. Similarly, the FN score and recall also, here I am able to get the more recall and FN score. And here this is how here I'm able to apply I'm trying to include this PSO with this for machine learning algorithms and able to get the good accuracy value. So coming to the conclusion, this analysis focuses on prediction of heart disease using the particle swarm and 4 machine learning algorithms like random forest, SVM, logistic regression, and Navier-Bayes. So the data set what I have taken from is from Cleveland dataset. And the results show that hybrid machine approach performs the individual classifiers in terms of accuracy, recall, precision, and FN score. Thank you. Sir, am I audible, sir? Hello? Hello? Sir, due to some network issue, there is some breakage of voice, sir.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Yes.
Angan sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Second.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, you may ask questions, sir. Sadeep.
Okay, please.
Okay.
Go to the conclusion slide. So that you presented nicely that the optimization of PSO algorithm for paradigms for different. It can be used in different disease analysis for other diseases like blood sugar or any other things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That also can be applicable for the other diseases also, sir.
Okay,
But
thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, can I move, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please. You go to the next candidate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the next candidate. The paper title is Exploratory Review of Applications of Machine Learning for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises. Paper ID 1570908765. Is the presenter ready?
Yes, sir. Shall I start, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir.
Continue. Please wrap up within 10 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all. My name is Narsimha Rao Vajjala. I am working as an associate professor at the Faculty of Engineering and Architecture. I'm going to present the paper titled Exploratory Review of Applications of Machine Learning for SMEs, which is small and medium-sized enterprises. As you all know, SMEs are the backbone of global economy. They account for more than 90% of all the businesses, and they provide employment to over 70% of the global workforce. And SMEs are vital for global economy because they contribute significantly to job creation, innovation, and economic growth. But SMEs face a lot of challenges, especially in terms of limited resources, lack of expertise, access to technology. So ML has emerged as a transformative technology that can help SMEs overcome these challenges, improve operational efficiency and growth. And SMEs can also benefit from ML applications by improving their products and services, optimizing their operations, and enhancing their customer experience. So the purpose of this study was to discuss how SMEs can leverage ML applications. This is just an exploratory study. And the idea was to identify the benefits and challenges which are associated with implementing ML, and also identifying the best practices for adoption of ML. So the main research question which guided this review was, what are the current applications of ML, machine learning for SMEs, and what is the potential for growth and innovation? So what we did was we did a comprehensive literature search of electronic databases, including Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, and IEEE Explore. The search was mainly limited to English language articles, which were published between January 2015 and March 2023. The methodology, what we did was we started a selection process, which had 2 rounds of screening. First, we went through the titles and abstracts of articles. We mainly looked at the relevance based on certain inclusion and exclusion criteria. The inclusion criteria were studies which focused on machine learning applications in SMEs, and studies which discussed the challenges and opportunities which were related to machine learning in SMEs. And the exclusion criteria were studies which focused on large enterprises and studies which did not have empirical or theoretical analysis. So after we screened initially, the full text articles were reviewed to confirm their eligibility. We prepared a data extraction form to systematically collect the relevant information for selected articles, and then synthesized the data to analyze the research question, to address the research question. So the analysis was mainly a narrative synthesis of the identified themes, which highlighted the key applications of machine learning in SMEs, and also the challenges and opportunities. And In this exploratory review, we went through a total of 658 articles were initially identified. We removed the duplicates. We used the screening process that I just mentioned, and 87 articles were found deemed eligible for full text review. And then finally, after the full text review, 36 articles were included in this analysis, which I'm presenting today. So the findings were mainly organized into three categories. One is the applications of machine learning in SMEs, the challenges which are associated with machine learning adoption in SMEs, and the opportunities for machine learning adoption in SMEs. So the applications of SMEs were mainly what we saw was CRM. Most of the articles were talking about CRM, customer relationship management. SMEs are mainly using ML algorithms to analyze customer data and also enhance the various aspects of CRM, like customer segmentation, targeted marketing, churn prediction, and personalized recommendations. And then in supply chain management, what we saw was machine learning techniques were mainly applied for various aspects of supply chain management, like demand forecasting, inventory management, and supplier evaluation. And process automation, we saw that SMEs were adopting machine learning to automate repetitive tasks like data entry, document processing, and quality control. This is a table which shows the frequency and percentages of the application areas. Most of them were in CRM, followed by CM, process automation, and decision support systems. The challenges which we saw were, the main challenge was the limited data availability, because most of the SMEs lacked the large data sets that is needed to train the ML models. And the technical expertise was another issue, because SMEs would not implement and maintain machine learning systems which require specialized skills, and these skills are scarce among SMEs. And also we saw that data privacy and security was another major issue, because the use of machine learning often involves processing large volumes of sensitive data, which again raises data privacy and security issues. And this is a table which basically shows the frequency and the percentages. And the opportunities, when we explored the opportunities, one was cloud-based machine learning solutions is an opportunity for SMEs, because they offer cost-effective and scalable machine learning solutions that can easily be accessed by SMEs. We also had open source tools and frameworks. So the availability of these open source tools actually lowers the barriers of entry for SMEs. And government and industry support, various government and industry initiatives, especially in EU, we had noted that there are a lot of initiatives which are promoting the adoption of advanced technologies like machine learning by SMEs. And in customizable machine learning solutions, there is a growing market for machine learning solutions which are tailored to specific needs of SMEs. So this was another opportunity that we had explored. And this is the table which basically shows the frequencies and percentages associated with adoption of SMEs. Cloud-based solutions is the leading one in this. And in conclusion, what we saw, the purpose, as I mentioned before, was an exploratory study to see how SMEs can benefit from ML. So future research could definitely focus on more longitudinal studies to find the impact of ML adoption on the performance, competitiveness, and innovation capabilities. And researchers could also explore how ML and its application across different industries, because we have not explored specific industries. It was more generic to all the SMEs. And this paper highlights the various opportunities for ML adoption in SMEs, cloud-based solutions, open source frameworks, and government and industry support. By leveraging all these opportunities, SMEs can overcome some of the challenges that were identified in this study. These are some of the references, but the detailed references are in the paper. And thank you again for spending time to go through this. I tried to summarize it quickly, taking the time limit. Thank you.
Audience, any question, please? Okay, sir, you have nicely present that machine learning approach in SME. And sir, you also find some drawback limitations. Sir, can you elaborate on? Sir, can you please elaborate the drawbacks
Yes,
of
sir.
this process?
Yes, sir. We could have actually explored more databases because, as I mentioned, we just went through 4 of them, and one of the limitations was also that we could have actually explored a bit, as I mentioned, more maybe ACM and some more databases. We tried, but we could not access at that point of time. But yeah, that is one of the drawbacks or one of the limitations of our study. In the end, this is just an exploratory study, so we could not really go into the details, and that is something we intend to do in a future publication when we extend this conference paper to a journal article.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Any
you.
other question from audience or other fellow chair persons? Okay, thank you. Please
Okay.
call the
Thank you,
next
Prof.
participant.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, Professor.
Now the next paper title. Bank's efficiency and the liquidity coverage ratio of Indian bank using data envelopment analysis approach. Paper ID 1570906525. Is the presenter ready?
Yes, sir.
Please share your screen. Start your presentation.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, all. My topic title is Bank Efficiency and Liquidity Coverage Ratio of Indian Bank using Data Envelopment Analysis Approach. My paper ID is 1570906525. I, Bhakti Agrawal, a research scholar from SIBM Pune, under the guidance of Salis Rastogi, sir. There is a content where we are going to describe introduction, literature review, research gap, and objective hypothesis, data, methodology, result discussion, conclusion, references. Introduction. First of all, I wish to discuss with liquidity risk. Liquidity risk is one of the parameter which signify the bank efficiency and bank operating activity in India. So after the global financial crisis from 2007 and 8, the Basel Committee Bank Supervision has proposed a Basel third rule, where they use liquidity framework to measure the liquidity of the banks, where they signify 2 liquidities parameters. One is liquidity coverage ratio, and second one is net stable funding ratio, for measuring the liquidity of the banks. And in India, first liquidity parameter is introduced by RBI on April 2014, where I can distinguish between liquidity coverage ratio and net stable funding ratio. Here is that liquidity coverage ratio is used to meet the short-term reliance of the bank, and the net stable funding ratio promote the long-term stability of the bank. So most Indian banks comply LCR requirements set by the RBI, and they are changeable according to the size, complexity, and business model of the banks. RBI has mandated that in India, banks have to maintain their liquidity coverage ratio to 80%. And in public sector bank, their liquidity coverage ratio is lower than the private sector bank because as we know, public sector banks are more reachable and have more bank branches in India and a large customer base, because in India people are trusted to public sector bank, more trust to public sector bank as compared to the private sector bank. So public sector bank need lower liquidity mandate requirement because of their higher outflow of funds in their demanding scenario. Private sector bank required to maintain higher LCR because of their smaller customer base and a smaller branch network. And after this introduction part, I come to visit many existing studies where we find the research gap of this study. And the different Zio 2019 had conducted studies on Chinese bank. France 2020 conducted a study on Vietnamese bank. Tamini conducted a study on Oman Bank, Nevis conducted a study on European Bank, and Khan Mito conducted a study on Oman Bank, and they conducted a study on different perspective, conducted a study on and find that the impact of efficiency on the liquidity of the bank, impact of efficiency on the liquidity of the bank. On that basis, on that studying, exiting studies, I find a research gap that on Indian bank, the impact of efficiency on LCR is not covered or not assessed. So one of the first research gap of my study is that to study the impact of liquidity coverage ratio on Indian bank. And in the next exiting study, I do not find any study for regarding the RWA study as moderator. So my second research gap is to study the moderating effect of risk-weighted assets on liquidity and efficiency of Indian banks. On the basis of research gap, I conclude to the measure my research objective, where research gap first research gap, I formulate a research objective. First objective is to determine the impact of efficiency on LCR of Indian bank, and on the basis of second research gap, I formulate a second objective to examine the impact of moderator on the liquidity and efficiency of Indian banks. On the basis of research gap, I conclude the hypothesis as well. First hypothesis is the impact of LCR on bank efficiency, and second hypothesis is the level of risk-weighted assets positively affect the relationship of LCR and bank efficiency. The data, this study is based on secondary data and involved a period of 10 years from 2010 to 2019. The data is include the 31 public and private sector Bank of India. This data in data point, this study have data point of 310 banking year data point, because we are using 31 public bank and private bank and data for 10 year. The data is collected from the Reserve Bank of India website of Reserve Bank of India, and CMI Proves is the data source for my study. Methodology, the methodology I used in this paper is panel data method. Panel data method is the combined or hybrid form of the time series and cross-sectional data method. So it is taking the advantage of both the time series and cross-section method. And for measuring the efficiency level in this paper, we use data analysis on the basis of input and output ratio of the banks. This study used dynamic model. In panel data model, there we have static dynamic. So this study is more focused on dynamic model to test the hypothesis, and their study are based on two models. First model is my study is the base model, where we analyze the impact of efficiency on the LCR. This here is the key model where we, and dynamic model is used. So first for applying the dynamic model, I found that error bond 1 and 2. Error bond 1 is significant and error bond 2 is insignificant. So dynamic the application of dynamic model is fulfilled here, and the Sargon test is used for identify the problem of over identification. Here the insignificant results show that there is no problem of over identification in the model. And after testing the model, I find that the efficiency is negatively affected the LCR liquidity of the bank. It means that if the efficiency is increased, it may lead to the decrease in the liquidity of the bank. Here, and in model 2, we are use interacting model, where risk-weighted assets is the moderator or interacting term of our model. Here we analyze that we after implementing the moderator, or after considering the risk-weighted assets as a moderator, there is a positive impact of moderator on the efficiency and liquidity of the bank, as a moderator show the positive result and significant result on our regression model. So we analyze that after implementation of risk-weighted assets as a moderator on the relationship of efficiency and LCR, there is a positive impact. if we increase the risk-weighted assets in the banking, there is lead to an increase in the efficiency and liquidity coverage ratio of the bank. Here, I conclude that the result of this study are consistent with the most American and European bank which are exiting literature review. And my studies find that there is inversely association of liquidity and the efficiency of bank, and interacting term also signify the positive relation between the interacting term and the positive relation of impact of positive relation of efficiency and the liquidity. Conclusion is that I have to conclude that there as efficient bank are more liquid as compared to the inefficient bank, and this limitation of this study is that if this study use only risk-weighted assets as a moderator, we can in future we can use other variable and consider other variable as well to study the moderator impact on efficiency and liquidity. And this study consider only Indian bank, foreign bank are ignored. For future research, we consider also foreign bank analyze the risk impact or liquidity impact. There are some references, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Angan sir, your voice is breaking.
Hello.
Yeah, you are audible, sir. You are audible. Yeah.
No, any questions from the audience? Your presentation is mainly on the banking efficiency,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
but you have to
Yes,
specify
sir.
the technical content is a bit to be improved. Now, can you proceed to the slides where you have shown some kind of table where coefficients and some parameters are there. Now,
Yes, sir.
I think that some parameters have a negative value. So can you please explain the reason?
Yes, sir, because it shows that the efficiency negatively impact the liquidity of the bank. If the bank are more efficient, then the liquidity of the banks are decreases. And it will show the negative relationship of liquidity and the efficiency of bank.
Okay, do you have used any type of AI or email or any other soft computing methodologies for?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, thank you. No questions from my side. And any other questions from other audience? Dr. Roy? Okay, I think we have no further questions. Thank you for presenting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You may now present.
Can I leave?
Yeah, sure. Can we proceed? So moving further, the next paper, response surface and artificial neural network simulation used in resolution enhancement of poorly soluble ornithosaccium using microwave assisted solid dispersion technique. The paper ID is 15708999993. The presenter is here. The presenting author.
Sir, I think Dr. Roy may left due to network issue.
Okay.
You may proceed, sir. You may proceed, sir.
Okay, okay. Vaishali ma'am, are you going to present? I think your voice is not audible. I cannot hear your voice.
Hello.
Yeah, now it is okay. Now it is.
So,
Ma'am, there is a lot of echo. I think the
You are
problem.
not audible.
Yeah. I think the problem is due to some using Bluetooth headphones. Bluetooth headphones is creating sometimes create some problems why in Zoom. I think if you have wired headphones, that will, because your voice is, I'm not audible. I was also using Bluetooth headphones and I changed to wired ones. So now the problem is removed. I think.
Hello, Dr. Sadeb Roy, are you there? Hello. Hello.
And I will request other presenters. So if you have wired headphones, that would help. I think Vaishali ma'am is busy in troubleshooting the sound issue.
hello,
Hello.
sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Now perfectly you are audible.
Okay, so I'm presenting from Saloni Dalwadi, that ID, and the title of my presentation is RSM methodology for
Okay.
the application into the enhancement of solubility of lornoxicam by microwave assisted technique. So basically, for development of any formulation, there must be the requirement of regulatory approval. And US FDA made a very systematic efforts for improving the excellence of the dosage form, and they are implemented the various guidelines. So ICH guideline, that is basically the guideline which is related to the quality by design. So how we can make the quality product with minimum side effects or minimum issue. So that dosage form preparation could be possible with the various kind of the guideline, and these guidelines to be implemented during the product development stage. So in the year of 2013, the quality by design concept that will be mandatory for any pharmaceutical industry who wanted to manufacture the different types of the dosage form. So here, if I'm talking about the quality by design, the design of experiment, it is considered to be integral part. Without design of experiment, we are not able to implement the QBD. So here, I wanted to highlight what is the importance of various modeling technique or various tools, multivariant tools, and how it is important and helpful in development of the formulation. Now there are n number of various statistical tools and advanced statistical tools are available for the optimization or development of the formulation. So RSM, response surface methodology. So basically the CCD design and Box-Bangor design and artificial neural network. This is the main technique. It is extensively used for modeling and optimization purpose. Now, if you compare both the technique RSM and ANN technique, so here ANN technique are considered to be more better and more superior due to we are able to capture the non-linear relationship between the highly complex data. Similarly, it is much more adaptable, and predictive ability of this particular ANN that was comparatively high. So in this, my research work, I am doing the optimization of various process parameter for the development of the dosage form, and that is to be compared with the RSM design as well as artificial neural network. And I wanted to improve the predictability of the study. So here lornoxicam, this is the BCS class 2 drug, and it is a first line choice for the treatment of arthritis, and basically it is used for pain management. Now these drugs belongs to BCS class 2 drug. So it has the issue of poor solubility and poor bioavailability. So in order to enhance the solubility and bioavailability, we are able to reduce the dose of the drug. At the same time, we can reduce the possible side effects. So in order to achieve this particular goal, we have to make some modification in a development of the dosage form in a such a way the functionality of molecules can be enhanced. Now there are various techniques are available for enhancement of the solubility and dissolution rate, and solid dispersion is one of the technique. Now in solid dispersion technique, what we are doing, the API is mixed, that is a lornoxicam that is mixed with the hydrophilic polymers, and we try to enhance, we try to increase the solubility of the drug. Now these techniques are having the several advantage that I'm not discussing here. Now there are various methods are available for the preparation of the solid dispersion. So how you can mix your API or lornoxicam and your excipient. So various techniques are available. Now, among all the techniques, I am focusing on fusion method. Now, fusion method is considered to be more environmental friendly technique. We don't require to use any kind of organic solvent. Just the heating is done, melting is done. So drug gets solubilized into the excipient. Now, heating can be achieved by the various way. You can go for the conventional heating method, and you can also go with the, we can go with the conventional heating method, and you can go with the microwave. Now in this technique, I'm exploring the microwave assisted technique, and this is the fundamental difference between both the technique. The basic advantage of this microwave technique is the heating can be achieved maximum, or heating can be achieved throughout the material. So effective solubilization of the drug is achieved. This is the objective of my research work. So initially, first I will prepare the solid dispersion. I will do the characterization. Then I will implement the CCD design, or what we call RSM design. And finally, the results of RSM design to be compared with the ANN. We will implement the artificial neural network and will do the comparison. Now, this is the novelty of my work. Till date, none of the research paper are reported regarding this particular technique. And these techniques—
Sorry for interruption. Sorry for interruption, ma'am, Saloni ma'am. Can you finish within 5 minutes, as we are running short of time?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to finish.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You may
And
proceed, ma'am.
myself is Dr. Vaishali.
Okay.
These are the technique which we are used for preparation of the solid dispersion. Now, selection of that polymer that is to be done based on the solubility study, and we have selected the 1.2 pH condition, which simulate the gastric stomach condition, and poloxamer are exhibited the maximum solubility. The same time, we are also done the dissolution study, which simulated our gastric environment, and the results are revealed that the poloxamer 407, that should be the best polymer for the development of solid dispersion. Now, the confirmation of this solid dispersion can be done with the XRD study, and XRD studies are revealed that here there is a interaction between the drug as well as poloxamer, and it is converted from crystalline state to amorphous state. Now we are converting our formulation we are selecting the two variables for the optimization of formulation. So microwave power and microwave heating duration. These two variables are selected. And as a dependent variable, I was selected the percentage of drug release in a various time interval. Now, by doing this, using the design expert software, and this is the output, and this RSM plot will give you what is the influence of microwave power and time duration on percentage of drug release. Now, as per the regulatory requirement, more than 90% of drugs should be released within 60 minutes. So here, this is the most optimized condition for the preparation of the solid dispersion. This is the regression analysis and polynomial equation, and that was reflected. This model is significant. Now, here we try to compare the whatever the parameter which is achieved through the DOI design, that is to be compared with the artificial neural network. And that comparison is done with the commonly used matrix, that is a RMSE. RMSE is nothing but root mean square error. Now here, the data, whatever the data we achieved, that should be feed into the NeuroSolution software, and this is our output. And this output is suggested that the less number of epoch and run will be required, and RMS value that should be minimum in 10 exon function as compared to other function parameters. Now, this is the comparison between the RMS value of DOI design and artificial neural network. And the results are revealed that if you go with a ANN type of the functional ANN type of the software, we will get the better predictability. At the same time, the process become more robust and more accurate. Now, this is the stability data. So we have to put the product into the certain environmental condition, and we wanted to verify what should be the stability of the product, and stability of the products are revealed that there is no significant change in a drug content and product is found to be stable. Now, based on study, I can conclude that microwave fusion assisted technique can be useful to improve the dissolution of lornoxicam. And the basic concept is the lornoxicam converted into the amorphous form, and that was the reason of enhancement of the release. And another important thing is if we explore the advanced statistical tool like artificial neural network, so this could be the powerful tool which reduce the error, and we can make the more precise or robust formulation. So this is the research outcome, and this is my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Ankan sir, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, you may ask questions, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. Really nice and informative. Any questions from the audience?
Ma'am, kindly you explain why the RMSE value decreases when the number of epoch increases?
Here we are, we are going for back propagation model. So we are doing the iteration. So we are repeated the process 10 times on 20 times. And because of that, what happened? The chances of error get reduced. Another important benefit of applying the ANN is that we are doing the training of data. So whatever the data we are collected, so 80% of the data that is used for the training purpose, and rest of 20% of the data that can be utilized for the predictive purpose. So because of such kind of repetition and back propagation and training, we are able to improve the predictive ability of the model. So this was the logic or reason.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Ankan sir, have you any questions?
Yeah, just one question. As in the title, you have mentioned that we are only soluble using microwave assisted solid dispersion technique. Can you briefly just clarify this? How you are using microwave assisted technique?
Microwave assisted technique, actually, sir, we are just mixing the API, that is a lornoxicam, with a polymer. Now here we are using a poloxamer 407 polymer that was approved by US FDA. Now the drug and polymer, they both are mixed together, and we are doing the melting of a carrier molecules, that is a poloxamer. So that was melted. There are two ways you can apply the heat, by applying a simple oven, or you can do the normal heating process. But here, the melting of carrier that could be done with a microwave techniques. So either you can use a conventional heating technique, or either you can use the microwave heating technique. Now, microwave heating technique, that means the main benefit of using the microwave technique is the uniform heat will be provided to each and every particles within a very short period of the time. So entire carrier material get heated, while in case of conventional method, initially the surface particles was heated and slowly the heat will be penetrated. So time duration could be high, and the high time duration may lead to the stability, another issue. So microwave assisted technique are considered to be one of the user friendly or environmental friendly technique as compared to any other techniques.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we move forward?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next paper title, Optimizing Analysis of Chopping Wheel HCl and Memantine HCl using Multivibrate Analysis as a data mining tool in HPTLC methodology. Is the presenter available?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, so you are Saloni.
Yes. I am Saloni Dalwadi.
Okay, please start your presentation, and please keep in mind that as we are running short of time, try to wrap up within 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, after that,
Okay, sir.
Q&A session will be followed. Please
Yes,
continue.
okay, sir. Okay. Good noon, all of you. Myself, Saloni Dalwadi from Anand Pharmacy College, affiliated with Gujarat Technological University, and I am working on the research work related to the optimization of the analysis of donepezil hydrochloride and memantine hydrochloride using multivariate analysis as a data mining tool in HPLC methodology. Now let's talk about data mining. So basically, data mining is the discovering pattern from in the larger data set. So there are 4 main steps. First one is data acquisition, that is the detection of the problem based on the review of literature. Second one is data preparation, that is the sampling and transformation all of the data or the selection of the data from the larger data set. Data modeling, that is the model generation and validation. And last one is model deployment, that is the action based on the model. So as I am from the pharmaceutical background, for the formulation approval from the FDA, QBD is mandatory for the optimization of the process parameter. And QBD involves the design expert software, which includes the statistical analysis, multivariate analysis, and regression analysis, which are basically, these analyses are basically used for the prediction of the behavior of the different types of variable on the different types of response. So we can predict the response from the variable, either main effect from the main effect or from the combined effect. So here I have selected fractional factorial design for the robustness study. I am applying HPLC method development. For the HPLC method, after applying HPLC method development, there is necessary to validate the method. So robustness is the one of the main validation parameter for the analytical study. So through this robust design, through this FFD design, we can significantly reduce the number of the trial. So it will reduce the cost and time, and it will identify the key factors and interactions. So here I have selected 2 drugs. The first one is memantine hydrochloride and second one is donepezil hydrochloride. There is one marketed formulation in that they have used memantine hydrochloride 7 mg as a sustained release and donepezil hydrochloride 10 mg as an immediate release. So for the analysis of this formulation, we are applying HPLC method. So this formulation is generally used for the Alzheimer's disease. 60 to 80% Alzheimer's patient having the dementia syndrome, that is the deterioration in memory, thinking, behavior, and ability to perform everyday activity due to some injuries or some types of diseases. So basically, memantine hydrochloride does not have any chromophoric groups, so it cannot be detected through the UV detector. So we need to derivatize our method for the detection of the memantine hydrochloride. So I have taken eosin yellow dye as a derivatizing agent, which is having the hydrogen bond donor. So this hydrogen bond donor will transfer their hydrogen to the memantine hydrochloride and it will form orange color complex. So this is my flow chart of HPTLC method. Now HPTLC, high performance thin layer chromatography, which is specifically used for the separation of the two material or two drugs. Okay, so first of all, selection of the stationary phase and mobile phase. In that, I have selected stationary phase as an aluminum plate coated with the silica gel, and mobile phase. Then sample preparation, that is the formulation of the standard stock solution. That standard stock solution will be applied on the TLC plate, and that can be done through this instrument named Linomet 5 semi-automatic sample applicator. After the application of the sample on the TLC plate, we have to develop our method. So for that, we put it into the mobile phase, into the twin through chamber. After that, chromatographic conditions can be selected, and derivatization have been done through the spraying reagent of the eosine yellow dye. So you can see here, these are the spots which can detect the drugs. So after the method derivatization, that plate can be detected through this scanner. This is the most advanced workstation for the densitometric evaluation of the plate. After that, after the scanning, WinCat's software can provides the image-based evaluation. So here, after this method development, we are going for the validation parameters. So validation includes the LOD, LOQ, accuracy, precision, robustness, and specificity and sensitivity. So in the robustness, I have applied smart computing, that is design expert, through the fractional factorial design. So why we have select the HPTLC method? Because through the UV method, that drug cannot be detected, and through the HPLC method, it is very costly method, because it requires lots of organic solvents, and that solvents cannot be reused. So we go for the HPTLC method. So this is the preparation of the standard stock solution. 10 mg of the drug was weighed and dissolved in 10 ml of methanol. So it was produced 1000 microgram per ml of solution. And my optimized mobile phase was chloroform 4.25 ml, cyclohexane 4.25 ml, methanol 1.5 ml, and ammonia for the minimizing the band broadening and optimum peak shape in amount of 0.1 ml. So development of the method, first step is detection of the wavelength of the both drug. So here I have detected 547 nanometer wavelength. So you can see here at the 547 nanometer wavelength, memantine hydrochloride produces the RF value is 0.36, and donepezil hydrochloride produces RF value of 0.67. So you can see here both the components are separated very well. These some errors are due to the spraying reagent which we are using, that is the eosine dye solution. You can see here also these spotting spots are, you can see. Okay, analytical validation parameters. For that, I have applied different validation parameters according to the ICH guidelines, and it's all the parameters are follow the ICH guidelines. These are the calibration curve of donepezil hydrochloride and memantine hydrochloride, and these are the specificity results. So, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so moving towards the robustness by applying 2⁻⁻1 fractional factorial design. So these two, that means level of 2, that is +1 and -1, that are the coded value. So the independent variable I have selected that are methanol volume in mobile phase, chamber saturation time in minutes, wavelength, and solvent fronts. And the dependent variables were RF value, that is retention factor value of the donepezil hydrochloride and memantine hydrochloride. So this is the design matrix which is created by design of expert software through the fractional factorial design and their responses. So from that, you can see here the model effects. For the donepezil hydrochloride, the most influencing factor is volume of methanol, because it is most contributing factor for the retention factor of the donepezil hydrochloride. And for the memantine hydrochloride, same volume of methanol influencing the most RF value of the memantine hydrochloride. So from the analysis of variance, this model is non-significant because p-value of the ANOVA is not less than 0.05. So this is not significant for the both donepezil as well as memantine. As we are trying to approve the regression analysis of the method. Regression, that means upon the small changes in the level of the variable, it should not change the response variable. So here it is non-significant proof. There is no changes into the variable that much. Pareto chart from.
Sorry for interruption, madam. Can you complete within 2 minutes as you are running out
Yes,
of
sir.
time?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
From the Pareto chart, you can see here the most influencing factor is volume of methanol, and also here the most influencing factor is volume of methanol. Also from the perturbation plot, you can see here the A factor, that is the volume of methanol, and this is again in memantine hydrochloride, A factor is volume of methanol. So let's talk about 3D response surface plot. In this, you can see here, as the volume of methanol increases, RF value of donepezil increases slightly. Okay, and the chamber saturation time, as the chamber saturation time increases, there is no change into the RF value of the donepezil, but the interaction effect of A and B, it suggests increase of the RF value of the donepezil hydrochloride. But this effect is negligible as our model is non-significant. Also in this A and C, A is volume of methanol and C is wavelength. You can see here as the wavelength increases, RF value of the donepezil hydrochloride slightly decreases and did not show any effect. And as the volume of methanol increases, slightly increase in RF value of the donepezil hydrochloride, which are negligible. And you can see here the polynomial equation in which this positive sign effect, shows the positive effect on the model. For the memantine hydrochloride, same, as the volume of methanol increases, RF value of the memantine hydrochloride increases slightly, but it is negligible as our model is non-significant. So in summary, the simple, sensitive, specific and cost-effective, robust HPLC technique have been developed for the simultaneous estimation of donepezil hydrochloride and memantine hydrochloride according to the ICH guideline Q2R1. And this work can be applied for the multivariate analysis techniques for the optimization of the method by the considering multiple variables simultaneously. Thank you.
Okay, Ankan sir, you may have questions.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. Actually, the title of your paper, as it reflects, that is multivariate analysis as a data mining tool. So can you please clarify the meaning of the title? Can you please elaborate how the data mining tool has been applied?
Yes, sir. Multivariate analysis, that means more than one variable we can take. So I have selected totally 4 variables. That is the amount of methanol, chamber saturation time, wavelength, and solvent front. Here I have selected total 4 variables, and another.
No, I just want to know how the term data mining.
By selecting these 4 variables, I have applied fractional factorial design. So this fractional factorial design will reduce the number of trials. So from the larger data, it reduces the trials to make a method more cost effective and less time consuming. So at there, data mining tool is used.
And another thing, just a second question that you have just mentioned, that what is the significance of applying HPPLC method instead of the other method? Can you please briefly point out?
Yes, sir. As I have already explained, memantine hydrochloride did not have any chromophoric group. So it will not detected through the UV method, right? And another sensitive method is HPLC method. But HPLC method is very time consuming. It will require lots of organic solvents, and that cannot be reusable. So it will be most expensive and it will require lots of maintenance. This instrument required lots of maintenance. So I was switched towards the HPTLC method, as it is very simplified, less time consuming, cost effective method.
Okay, do you have any plans to carry forward your research work and any future scope?
Yes, sir. Actually, in this study, I have done the analysis on the marketed formulation, and I am already preparing a transdermal patch having donepezil hydrochloride and memantine hydrochloride. So I will I will apply this analysis to the transdermal patch formulation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions from my side. Any other questions from the audience?
Yeah. Can you tell me what is the difference between sensitivity and specificity? As you have mentioned in your current project, specificity and sensitivity.
Yes, sir. Specificity is the quality or condition being specified. So that is called as a specificity. And about the sensitivity, that is the limit of detection. That is how much less we can detect our material. That is the sensitive. How sensitive is this method?
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Can we proceed?
Ankan sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So one request is there. Actually, there is a paper of Pravind Raja. He is present in that session. Pravind, you have you present over here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am ready, sir.
Okay, so this paper is needed to be presented in your session. Okay. His paper is needed to be presented in your session. You please take care of that. Pravind, you are not going to present right now.
Okay,
Actually,
sir.
sir is actually running the session. Sir will call you. Sir will call you when your presentation will be presented. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So you please stop sharing your screen. You please
Sure,
stop
sure.
sharing. Ankan sir.
Yeah.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Just
Okay.
be, and I will after the available presenters are over. Then I will.
After the schedule which has been given to you, after completing all the presentation, then that presentation will be needed to be taken care of.
Sir, can you tell me the approximate time, sir, so that I can join?
No, you need to join. We cannot see the approximate time. How can we say the approximate time? Because many the different authors having a different time for presentation.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So proceeding further, and the next paper title, Privacy Policy for E-Waste Management. Is the presenter ready? The paper ID 1570914413. I can't see the presenter's name is not available with me. Only I have the paper ID and the paper title. So I'm again calling out Privacy Policy for E-Waste Management. The paper ID 1570914413. Is the presenter available? I think he's not responding. So the next paper title. Okay.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
So just a moment. So as you can see that we are really running short of time. So please try to complete within 6 to 7 minutes. Focus on the key points. Okay. Don't try. You have to be so much elaborate. And after that, Q&A session will be followed. Right?
Okay, sir.
Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Fariha Tabassum from East West University, and today I'm going to discuss about the privacy policy of e-waste management in Bangladesh. So, e-waste management or e-waste is a term. The term e-waste is used for declare the electronic or electrical waste, and it has become a pressing concern due to its increasing volume. Over the past 3 decades, trash volume has doubled every 15 years, highlighting the exponential growth of e-waste. This trend underscores the urgency and address electronic waste as it poses significant environmental and health risks. So here is the background. The background of e-waste management is e-waste. E-waste is a term to use to describe an electronic product. It is increasing and posing challenges as a result of increased use of electronic and electrical equipments. Let's talk about the problem statement. E-waste has become an alarming issue nowadays because of the irregular disposal. It has a huge effect on our climate. In this study, it will be evaluate whether the approach adopted to combat e-waste is effective and calculating the potential effect of the measures on the environment performed on the Bangladesh e-waste management strategy. So, here is the aim of this work to identify whether Bangladeshi institutes are complying with e-waste management rules and law published by Bangladesh Environmental Directorate. Here is the objective. The objectives are to narrate the steps that may be done to recycle electronic waste and to identify the gap between policies and practices to collect data from institutions of Bangladesh. So here is the research questions. The first research question is, what is the gap between e-waste management policies and the practices in Bangladesh Institute? Why is it necessary for Bangladesh to develop an e-waste reduction policy? And the last one is e-waste disposal techniques and what steps can we deal with these e-wastes? Here is the methodology. In Bangladesh, a large number of business and organizations utilize IT goods on a regular basis in order to survey the actual situation of e-waste management in Bangladesh. In this study, we will rely on the interviews and questionnaires. Data has been collected through an interview. Researchers interviewed about recycling, disposable, and also the management system. Here is our data collection and analysis process. Based on the examination of the research, the two main goals of this research work are it first seeks to address the reported issue and offer viable fixes for more research. Secondly, it entails the gathering of unprocessed quantitative data using interviewing stations created specially for this study. Following the collection of the data and analysis strategy appropriate for this research article has been carried out. The main goal of this analysis is to ascertain whether Bangladesh e-waste management policy were being carried out effectively. Individually, Bangladeshi institutions, e-waste repair business like Ajiju and scrap merchants of junkyard institutions were connected and included in the study to collect the data. The study paper's conclusions are based on the data that was generated and the discussions that followed during the analysis stage. So here is the result. From the pie chart, we can see that some institutions in Bangladesh got that in most cases, e-waste rules are not followed properly. Some institutions doesn't even know about the policies that should be applied in e-waste management system. E-waste products or waste devices are being just thrown or sold by part by part. Non-reputed institutions are throwing out wasted products in most cases. All the reputed e-waste repair company are not maintaining all the policies given by the Bangladesh government. Here is the discussion. In Dhaka and other significant cities in Bangladesh, thousands of tons of electronic garbage are generated. Pre-processing e-waste by grouping part of the same type of metals. After pre-processing, useful components are extracted for homogeneous group. Institutions in our nation utilize to separate the e-waste printed circuits board in metallic and non-metallic components. In Bangladesh, people do not know the rules of the e-waste disposable process, which has given by the government, because the government does not take any action to break the rules of e-waste disposable process. Ajizu, it is the company in Bangladesh which is working for e-waste management, recycling, and e-waste company is organization that collect e-waste item like mobile phones, motherboard, computer, refrigerator, and washing machine, tends to process and separate the valuable components and then sell to the local market to import them to other nations after going through various processing. Ajizu Recycling and e-waste company has relations with Samsung and reputed business that collect all the local e-waste and sell it. But they gather the products in an unspecific manner. This company recycling method or component collection does not maintain the e-waste Bidhimala, which has determined impacts of the environmental and human health. The government of Bangladesh has not enough interested in overseeing the laws and regulation, and the institutions in our nation do not maintain the norms of e-waste disposable. That's the reason Bangladeshi institutions are not maintaining rules properly. So people sell their unwanted electronic waste here, where they subsequently take the useful parts of the item, and the product contains some ineffective parts too. They disposed of these components in the dirt piles, lakes, rivers, and throw in the roadsides too. As a result, it has a tremendously negative impact on our environment, harming the land, water, and air. The disposable electronic garbage locally using the following eco-friendly waste disposable method. In conclusion, in the research, we conclude that most the small institutions are not following and applying the policies of e-waste management system provided by the government of Bangladesh properly, and the other non-big institutions are following and applying just a few rules. Overall, it can be said that in Bangladesh, there have no institutions that are properly following the policies and applying them in a e-waste management system. That's all from my part. Thank you.
Okay, sir, you may ask questions, sir.
Hello. Thank you, Faria, for your presentation. So, Faria, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure that you are presenting from our neighboring country. And you have definitely pointed out a major issue, that is the e-waste management. But I think the technical quality of your paper needs much improvement, and only you have done an overall analysis, but both qualitative and quantitative analysis should be there. Okay. And
Okay, sir.
you have to focus on the possible pathways on how you can more effectively manage the e-waste, because the thing is, though it is a major issue, but it is a major point of research, or how the e-waste can be effectively managed. Okay, so there are a lot of questions on this particular topic. So you have to analyze the thing in both quantitative, as well as you have to take the qualitative approach. And also you have to apply if you can apply some sort of soft computing technologies that will fit the scope of the paper and would help you to improve the technical content. Anyways, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any questions from Sumon sir?
No, sir. No, sir. Your points are correct, sir. It requires more technical information.
Actually, she has presented a general analysis, but I think technically it should have been needs to be improved. That is my main point.
Yes, sir. It's a fair suggestion, sir. Yes. Okay, you may leave.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your presentation, and hopefully you would meet in a second very soon in for some other conferences, and I would request you to carry forward with your research work, and definitely it is a very significant topic in today's scenario. Anyways, nice presentation. Thank you. You may now stop presenting your screen.
Sir, as we're running short of time, we need to complete all the presentation in 30 minutes, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir.
The next paper title, Spider Monkey Optimization Based Image Data Forgery Detection over Vehicular Cloud Computing. Yeah. So the study is Manasa.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you already have heard that we are running short of time, so please try to wrap up within 5 minutes. Just focus on the key points, right?
Sure, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Manasa. I'm from MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, bearing the paper ID 15709141188. The title of my project is Spider Monkey Optimization Based Image Data Forgery Detection over Vehicular Cloud Computing under the guidance of Dr. Shilpa Chowdhury, Associate Professor, MS Ramaya Institute of Technology. The outline of this presentation follows: introduction, related works, methodology, experimental results, and discussion, followed by conclusion. Introduction. In the era of digital communication, there is an exponential growth in the production of digital data. Digital data can represent various types of information, including text, numbers, audio, video, and as well as image data. So images have become a crucial aspect of several fields such as medicine, education, digital forensics, sports, scientific research, and news media. Images serve as a primary source of information. However, with the availability of software like Photoshop, GIMP, CorelDRAW, and Android applications like PhotoHacker, it has become effortless to produce manipulated images. And we also consider that in situations where images are presented as evidence in court of law, their authenticity becomes of utmost importance. So image manipulation refers to any form of digital image alteration through software, also known as image editing. Image forgery involves modifying the content of an image to contradict past events. Image tampering is a type of image forgery that replaces certain image content with new content. If the new content is drawn from the same image, then it is referred to as copy move tampering, while taken content from a different image is known as image splicing. So these are the two figures which represent a real image and a forged image. A real image is the camera click picture, and the forged image is some modification or edit has been made to that figure. Related works. According to the literature survey I have gone through, this is the taxonomy of the overall papers which mainly focus on image forgery detection approaches. So this taxonomy discussed briefly on how the image forgery detection approaches are broadly classified. First, they are classified as active approach and passive approach. In active approach, it is further classified into digital watermarking and digital signature, whereas passive approaches are again classified into forgery type dependent and forgery type independent. Whereas in forgery type dependent, it is again classified as copy move and image splicing, whereas in forgery type independent, it is again classified as image retouching and lighting conditions. So now let us go through each one of these. Active approaches include digital watermarking. So this concept is like a kind of image forgery technique which involves adding a digital watermark to a photo which may be visible and its transparency may make it difficult to detect. And digital signatures are commonly validated for the authenticity by utilizing digital signatures. A valid signature allows the recipient to trust whether the message was sent by the intended sender. And passive approaches include forgery type dependent, whereas copy to move method. This image forgery method is a special type of forgery that involves copying parts of an image and then pasting the copied parts into the same image. Whereas image splicing refers to copying some parts of an image and pasting it in another image is known as image splicing. Methodology. In this project, the main intention is to classify whether the image is real or forged. So for that, the following methods have been included, which involves convolution neural network. So CNN is a network architecture for deep learning that learns directly from data. CNN are particularly useful for finding patterns in images to recognize objects. So in our project, CNN is mainly used for feature extraction. As we all know, the architecture of CNN, which includes the 4 layers. The first one is the convolution layer, which initiates feature extraction by convolving input images with specific size filters, generating feature maps that capture edges and corners. These maps are then passed to subsequent layers to extract more features while preserving spatial relationships. The pooling layer reduces the data dimensionality through techniques like maximum or average pooling, enhancing computational efficiency. And the third layer is the fully connected layer, which operates on flattened inputs, connecting each input to every neuron for classification. The decision of the activation function is crucial, with softmax commonly used in the final fully connected layer for multi-class classification, producing class probabilities. And the last layer is the dropout layers, which combat overfitting by randomly deactivating neurons during training, simplifying the network, and improving generalization. These components collectively contribute to the feature extraction, dimensionality reduction, classification, and regularization capabilities of CNNs in an image classification task. This figure explains the architecture of a convolution neural network. For feature selection, the algorithm selected is the spider-monkey optimization. So spider-monkey optimization is a relatively new meta-heuristic optimization algorithm inspired by the social behavior of spider monkeys. The algorithm mimics the way spider monkeys collaborate and communicate with each other to find food sources. Spider-monkey optimization uses a swarm-based approach in which individual monkeys interact with each other and the environment to improve their solutions. The algorithm has been utilized effectively in various optimization problems such as feature selection, image segmentation, and parameter tuning of machine learning models. So spider-monkey optimization is a promising optimization technique due to its ability to balance exploration and exploitation in search space and its efficiency in finding high-quality solutions. These are the some of main key characteristics of spider-monkey optimization technique, which involve the spider monkeys usually live in groups of 40 to 50 people and engage in a fission and fusion strategy for foraging by dividing the group into smaller clusters for food exploration. This strategy can reduce direct food search competition among the participants. The second key characteristic is that the female monkey, who is responsible for food probing and is regarded as the group's global leader, is in charge of leading the group. If it is unable to produce enough food for the cluster, it will break the cluster into smaller subclusters, each having a size of 3 to 8 monkeys in a group. And the third characteristic is that the female spider monkey, who is the local leader and decides on the daily schedule for an effective food search direction, must also be in charge of the subcluster. In order to maintain regional borders and accessibilities of the food source, the individuals in these subclusters will interact both inside and outside of the subclusters. These are the images of spider monkey. So the first image indicates how the spider monkey looks. And this is a spider monkey group. That is, they usually form 3 to 5 in a group for food foraging. And the third picture depicts the spider monkey subgroups. In the group, they are again divided into subgroup to food foraging, that is to find the food. And the last picture depicts the food source, which is found by a subgroup by monkey. And the spider monkey optimization is used for feature optimization. And now the support vector machine is used to classify, that is, it is used for
Master,
binary.
you are running out of time. Can you move to the next slide?
Yes, sir. Results. So spider monkey optimization without feature selection. So this is the classification report, which is obtained after performing the coding part. That is, the summary of this classification table is that without feature selection, that is, without using the SMO algorithm, we are attaining an accuracy of 93%. And this is the confusion matrix, which represent that the images which are predicted real as fake are 24 images are depicted as fake, and the images which are fake and it is originally detected as fake is 378. That is, it has correctly classified the fake images, and the real images which are classified as real is 379 images are classified correctly, and real as fake images are 35 images are classified wrong. That is, this is the confusion matrix without using the spider monkey optimization, and the accuracy obtained here is 93%. And
but it is written 98%.
No, so the like image prediction, like fake and real image prediction is 98%, and the accuracy is 93%, sir.
Okay, move to the next slide.
Yeah, and this is with SMO with feature selection. That is, the classification report tells that with using the spider monkey optimization algorithm, the accuracy we attain is 96%.
Okay.
And this is the confusion matrix.
Okay. Next slide.
The proposed image forgery detection uses hybrid model of convolution neural network, spider monkey optimization, and support vector machines. And mainly, CNN is used for feature extraction, and spider monkey optimization will optimize the selected features by the CNN, and the SVM classifies the binary classification as whether the images are real images or forged images. So, and we attain that using SMO, we attain an accuracy of 96%. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Angan sir, you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
Yeah. It's okay, but I have just one question, that why there is so much optimization algorithms available? Why specifically you have focused on spider monkey? Just answer very briefly.
Yes, so like, well, there are many optimization techniques, and spider monkey optimization suits better for this project. Like from CNN, it extracts almost 128 features from a single image. And this spider monkey optimization selects 71 optimized features from those extracted features from CNN. So like
only 5 are there, or there are others?
So like many optimization algorithms may select more than 90 features, but this is optimized features selected by SMO is 71. So that is optimized features which are selected by SMO results in better accuracy. So I have selected spider monkey optimization.
Fine, but the references are there only 5?
No, sir, there are many other references also which are included in the paper.
But you should have included all those in your PPT also, right? As I observe, most of the references are from 2014, 2015, 2012. So have you included any recent references?
Yes, and recent references are also included in paper, that is 2023.
There should not be so much a deviation between your PPT, and because the references should be at least all the references should be there. Because it will reflect what the references are following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. No questions from my side.
If you add reference section in your slide, kindly include all the references. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
That's my opinion. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So we have to proceed without wasting so much time. Any further?
Yes, sir. As we're running out of time, sir.
Definitely. The next paper title is Currency Recognition App for Blind People.
Sorry, sir. My paper ID is paper name is two-stage ASL detection. So I think I am the next. Am I missing something?
In the Excel sheet which is there with me, it is saying the next paper is currency recognition app for blind people. The paper ID 1570906766. Is the presenter there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here only.
Okay, please share your screen. Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible to everyone, sir.
Yes, but try to complete within 5 to 6 minutes as we are
Sure,
running
sure.
out of time. Okay.
Sure. Just a minute.
So move to methodology section and explain.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. We'll maximize the screen. So very good morning to one and all present here. So it's my immense pleasure to present our article titled Currency Detection Application to Assist the Blind People in the International Conference titled on Human-Centric Smart Computing. Our paper ID is 1570906766 and myself, Dr. S. Praveen Raja. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
these are all the things.
Sir, I will request you kindly move to the methodology section, sir.
Yes, sir.
Methodology section
So
and explain it.
this is our proposed system. So initially we have to load the currency, and the currency is to be augmented, data augmented. After that, we'll remove some unwanted noises and background images by applying the pre-processing, and by using the CNN we are training the model and label the denomination, what kind of currency is this, then detect the denomination. And for the blind people, it will show the voice assistance. So voice output is whether the currency is captured currency is 10 rupee or 50 rupees or 100 rupees, it will give the voice assistance. So this is the methodology and implementations. So here we have used a CNN algorithm for the image processing recognition. So input will be captured from the camera. So once if the images is captured, it will be applied through the pre-processing. So once if it is pre-processed, then further we taking into the segmentation classification, and we applied a convolutional neural network for extracting the futures, what kind of notes, the currency notes it is. Then it will be recognized in matching with the database trained images with the current captured images. Then it will be represented as an output what kind of currency it is. So comparing to the earlier researchers, some Nigerian articles, Bangladesh currency notes they did, but this the novelty of our application is, so you may ask one question, so how the blind people can take the picture of the currency notes? It is very difficult, no? So through this voice assistance, so once if the camera is turned on, it will give the assistance to the blind people, says that so move left, move right, move down. So like that voice assistance will be given to the blind people. So based on the voice assistance, the images will be captured. In addition to the Kaggle datasets, we have added our own images for 20 rupee, 50 rupees and 100 rupees, even 2000 notes also we have captured here. Okay, for in addition to improving the performances. So this is the screenshots of our executed articles like applications. So once if the camera is turned on, so we have to take the picture of the currency and the currency in any one side. So we have to take the picture, and the blind people, for blind people, it will give some assistance, left, right, top, down. So now the picture is clear. Now you can pick it like that. Voice assistance will be given. Then after that, the recognized currency will be represented in terms of an audio. So these are all the performance metrics. So we have taken the samples maximum of 148 and minimum of 58 samples with the background. So 10 rupee notes, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100, 200, 500, and 2000 notes we have taken as the samples for calculating the accuracy. And this is the accuracy and loss functions for our proposed CNN method. So once if it is implemented, and these are all the requirements, TensorFlow, Android Studio we have implemented for developing the app, then Flutter, and the hardware requirements is phone and camera. So advantages, there is no login record for our application.
Sorry for interruption. Can you move to conclusion section? Can you
Yes,
move
sir.
to?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So we have introduced the CNN method for our purpose. So that is the main contribution of this. And in addition to that, we have introduced the voice over sessions. So in future, we may incorporate identifying the fake currency with some hardware applications. So these are all the things about for the reviewers.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Angan sir, you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you. It is a nice approach, but one tricky point is there. So there is a one thing left to be done while distinguishing the real currency notes and the fake currency notes. I think that is that major issue is to be taken in your future research work, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your suggestion, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So moving on to the next paper, two-stage ASL detection architecture, a hand sign languages detection scheme. I think the
Yes, sir. So let me share my screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Just be very specific, okay? Because time is.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Can you move to methodology section? Methodology section.
Sorry, sir.
Methodology section. Methodology section. PPT slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Our paper topic is AI/ML in support of human cognition. Session number is 1 and paper ID is 15709000481. I am Tirthuras Sinha from University of Engineering and Management, Kolkata. Our paper title is Two-Stage ASL Detection Architecture, a hand sign language detection scheme. We know that blind people, people with hearing disabilities face communication gap with normal people.
Sorry for interruption. Can you move to methodology section? Introduction.
Okay, okay. So okay. So we will discuss this in a very short. So what we try to do, we try to recognize hand sign from images through camera. So this is the architecture we have tried to implement. Is a two-stage architecture. So why it is two-stage? Let me explain it. So our proposed architecture is divided into two micro modules. First is a key point detector algorithm, and other is a hand sign detector algorithm. So key point algorithm takes an image of hand sign and return an array of 21 hand key points. So each key point consists of 2 coordinates. And the hand gesture detection algorithm take this array of 21 hand key points or a key landmark and predicts a hand sign shown in the image input. The key point detector architecture is consists of 23 layers, and hand gesture detection architecture is consist of 4 layers. And this is the complete overflow, how it takes the image from the data set, retrieve it, after it predicts the key points, 21 key points, and from the 21 key points, it predicts the this hand sign. It is shown in the image, and after doing all of this, it predicts it calculates the performance parameters. So this is a data set we have used, which is consist of 2515 images, and we have trained 2063 images and tested others. And this is a sample of some of the images we have used in our data set. And Now we will discuss about the result. So this is the main part. Okay. So we have selected some random images and tried to show all this process which have been done. So first image is the image we have taken input. Second image, how it identified the key point, 21 key points, and from the 21 key points, it predicts the particular hand sign. We have selected five random images out of them, all of them.
Kindly check the accuracy. Okay. No algorithm shows 100% accuracy. It's completely, I think so, 99.6.
Sir,
Okay.
it is what we are trying to show in image. It is for the particular images, for one particular image, not the whole thing.
Okay.
So this is the performance parameter we have used to evaluate our model and check the performance and compare with other existing methodologies. We will come to that. So this is the other existing methods we have used, VG16, some other modern techniques, and we have compared this by accuracy and some of the other performance parameters. We can see that we have accuracy of 95%. So I can't say that it will always give the 95%, but most of the time it's give a better accuracy than the mobile net. But the most important thing is it is not always the accuracy or the this kind of numbers, because numbers always don't tell the truth. So what this existing method do, they take the images and directly train the images. So it is not quite efficient for video or like live type prediction type thing. So what we do is we take the images, we predict the 21 key points, which does not depend on the image quality itself, the depth of image, and the background color, the lighting, etc. It is completely free of that kind of specific requirement. So it's work better on camera. This is the graph we have shown how it's doing for every type of accuracy and error rate, precision, recall, F1 score parameters. So we would like to address some advantages. Apart from high accuracy, our method is highly scalable, consumer friendly, and our model have edge on others because it's work better on camera. If we discuss about the future scope, currently our proposed method is applicable to American Sign Language only. But with proper modification, we think this method can be applied on other hand sign dataset, and also it has some minor fault that will be that we will discuss now. So our at most target is that we will implement this kind of method to use in real life environment. So we have to implement this on a small IoT based device or on using mobile phone. So using mobile phone is most cost effective because most of them already have one of them. And the other thing is using IoT devices. But the problem is this method is slightly slightly more power efficient, slightly need some more power. So for normal microcontroller chips like ESP32 boards, ESP8266 board, or we can use RP2040 board, or we can take a much low power board like Arduino. So this will not work on them, or like we have tested that we have that is not working properly, like not like giving a good results. So we are working on that to implement that thing, or make the model more light to capable implement on more cost effective or cheap IoT microcontrollers. So
thank you, sir.
And one of them, and We will also like to address some other thing, that inclusion of key point and hand key point architecture via a multi-stage layer and simplicity make the two-stage architecture unique. So we tried to come up with a model that can aid us with communicate with people having hearing disabilities after considering a big gap in performance and efficiency between proposed method and other existing method. We think that we have pretty much succeeded in achieving that goal. This is the reference we have used to do the research work, and we can see that the highlighted here is the modern architecture we have come up with, that is from 2021, 2022, and 2023, and the last one is our data set. And thank you. It was on.
Okay, great.
To work with some such workers, and thank you very much to the conference organizer for giving us the opportunity to showcase our work. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Angan sir, do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Nice.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you may leave. Okay.
Will we proceed, sir? Already 1:30 by now, so we can proceed to the next paper. Retinal vessel segmentation using novel unique architecture with data augmentation. Is the presenter there?
Yes, sir.
Arnab Kumar De.
Yes, sir.
There?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are audible.
So, myself.
A bit low.
Bit low.
So, hi, sir. Myself, Arnab Kumar De. Am I audible, sir?
Just interrupting. Just focus on the key points, right? Just
Okay,
have a
sir.
much and try to wrap up within 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, myself, Arnab Kumar De from University of Engineering Management, Kolkata. So, my paper ID is 1570903981. So, sir, first of all, I want to say about my data set for the wrap up of the main part of my paper. So, this is our data set is a digital retinal vessel images, which is data set is a vessel segmentation. It consists
Arnab,
of
sorry for
total-
interruption. Hello. Sorry
Yes,
for
sir.
interruption. Can you move to methodology section?
Okay, sir. Methodology. So, methodology. So, UNET is a convolutional neural network that is used for biomedical image segmentation. It is a deep learning model that has shown state-of-the-art performance in the various medical images analytic tasks. It is designed in a way that it is handle a wide range of medical images segmented tasks, including retinal images and cell segmenting and more. So this is our block diagram of our model. This is the U-shaped model. The blue is encoder layer, and the encoder layer dimension also mentioned in the part of the blue column, and the decoder layer, which is block is showing is a blue. It's showing in the green in the dimension also, and the gray was the bottleneck layer, which is the down layer of the model, and it's showing the dimension also. So the method of the unit can be summarized as follow: encoder layer, bottleneck layer, and decoder layer. So the encoder layer is series of convolutional neural network maps filling layer are applied to the input images to extract the feature of the images. This reduces the spiral resolution of the images while increasing the number of feature of the channels. So, sir, this is the images of the encoder layer, and there is the showing the dimension is 256, and now it is version is downing, but the upscaling is the 8 to 16 to 32 to 64 and 128. It's happening in the encoder layer. It's a primary layer, and the second is the bottleneck layer. The bottleneck layer is added to prevent the high level features of the image while reducing its spiral dimension. So, sir, in this showing that the gray is the bottleneck layer showing, and there is the high level images is stored, and it's proceed to the next layer, which is also like decoder layer, that in the spiral resolution of the images is gradually increasing through a series of upscaling and convolutional neural network. And the feature of the channel are also reduced by high resolution feature from the encoder layer. And this is the images of the proposed decoder layer. In there, the images noise also cancelled and the images come from. So, one minute. So, this is the methodology flow diagram, which is showing the input layer go to the data augmentation, and that novel unit architecture model is followed. And there is a test images, which is also stored in our machine model. And there is a data set give us model data, and the marks of the user given data is returning from the output images. It's showing in this flow diagram. And this is the result analysis. So we in the study, the novel unit architecture with and without augmentation is trained on the right dataset performing retinal images segmentation. The quantitative result of the augment with and without augmentation are illustrated using the result of Jaccard score, F1 score, recall rate, precision rate, accuracy, and dice PC loss for the training dataset with and without augmentation. So this is the formulas of the Jaccard score, F1 score, recall, precision, accuracy, and dice PC loss. There is a TP stands for true positive, and FN stands for a false negative. And this is the dice BC loss is very much important for us. And dice BC loss we have to 1 minus 2 into instruction and the prediction plus ground truth, and dice BC loss is minus y into log p plus 1 plus y into log 1 minus, and dice BC loss combined with the dice loss plus BC loss, it's provide us dice BC loss. So with our data set, we get the two type of values, and the average of the value we are actually showing here. The with augmentation we get 0.6596, and without we get 0.6364. The with augmentation is slightly better, and F1 score is 0.7947, and without get 777.8. In here also with the augmentation is better, and recall rate is 0.77, and without augmentation is 0.741. Here with augmentation is better. Precision and accuracy also the with augmentation is providing better, and accuracy.
Arnab,
Yes,
can you move to the conclusion section?
Okay, sir. So, sir, 1 minute, sir, I can explain this. So, in other comparative examination, so we get that this type of model in situation in now in the market. So we try to overcome their problems. So we study their problems, then and we get the better result. Can we Jaccard score we get 0.66, and also F1 score we get 0.79, and recall rate 0.77, and also dice PC loss we get the less amount of 0.15 loss, that is the better, and accuracy rate we also get 0.97. And conclusion, the semantic segmentation is an important branch of the image processing and machine version. It's classify and judge each pixel of the images to archive the accurate segmentation. UNet is a simple and efficient segmentation model which is suitable for training small data sets. Experiment proves that the algorithm proposed in the paper is outstanding in the term of sensitivity and accuracy when the compared with the other algorithms under the public dataset drive. We are considered that the improvement of UNet architecture process proposed can be more suitable for medical image segmentation. So, and this is our reference part. We provide here some first and second, which have some old papers which we get the help, and there is the second is a 2022 the new IEEE paper, which is, and also in here we get some 2022, 2020, 2021 paper, and we also help some old paper which is from 2011, 2019 paper, and also new type of paper. So this is myself, Arnab Kumar Dev, and thank you, sir, for giving me the chance and opportunity to tell something about my paper.
Okay. Angan sir, you have any questions?
Okay, no question.
Can you tell me, Arnab,
Yes, sir.
What is F1 score? Can you tell me?
Sir, F1 score is a fraction score which we calculate as a when we use in the Python, we get the proper result of the rate, we get that power. So that's why we use A4 for get the proper result of the data. So that's why we use A4 in the paper in our project and also in the paper. We mention
Okay,
A4.
okay, okay.
Am
Arnab,
I-
okay,
sir. Am
you
I
may
late,
leave.
sir? Okay.
You may leave. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Arno. But one suggestion from my side, you are simply reading out all the slides. So try to be specific from your next presentation onwards. So try to highlight the key points only, right? Thank you.
I have, sir, a small time, so I start reading it, but sir, I have to more to explain, and
Okay.
I also skip, sir, some.
Okay.
Slide, so, sir, that's why.
Okay. So moving forward, the DREAP TriNet, a tri-level attention-based Deep Lab V3 plus architecture for semantic segmentation of satellite images.
Sir,
Right.
am I audible, sir?
Yeah. May I know your name?
Sir, good afternoon, everyone. I am Shakil Mosharraf from Military Institute of Science and Technology, Dhaka, Bangladesh, under supervision of Mohammad Nazrul Islam, sir, PhD.
Okay. Thank you, Sakib. As we are, apology because we are really running very short of time. So don't try to, you don't have to be so much descriptive. I would just focus on highlight on the key points, keep a track at your wristwatch and try to complete wrap up within 3 to 4 minutes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
So now I am moving to the objective of our research. So our main, we have to actually propose an effective deep learning network using several attention techniques to reduce the semantic information gap between the encoder and decoder, and for allowing the accurate segmentation of satellite pictures. This is basically our objectives of our research. Then there is theoretical background. We have used DeepLab version 3+ layer, then tri-level attention unit layer, and squeeze and excitation networks. So let me explain. The DeepLab version 3+ is a deep learning model for semantic segmentation of images. It has two phases, naming encoding and decoding. The encoding phase uses a convolutional neural network to extract essential information from the image. The decoding phase reconstructs the output of appropriate dimensions based on the information obtained from the encoder phase. The decoder module improves object boundary segmentation results. An attention mechanism is used in the model to improve the segmentation performance.
hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Actually, Arno, sorry, not Arno, Sakib. So please highlight the key points, right? So you don't have to be so much descriptive about the theoretical background.
Yes,
Just
sir. Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I agree with you, sir. But if I don't explain these three things, then it will be very much hard to understand our architecture. I am doing it in short time, sir, and I am making it more precise, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, sir. So moving forward to the next layer, that is tri-level attention unit or TAU layer. It is a novel attention mechanism that combines channel, spatial, and pixel attention schemes for faster and efficient generalization of contextual information embedded in the feature map through feature recalibration and enhancement operations. It is repeatedly utilized over the network to improve its performance. Here you can see the TAU architecture. It is shown. At the first phase, there is expand and excitation path, and the later phase, this is squeeze and excitation path. This is actually TAU mechanism. Moving forward to next topic, squeeze and excitation networks layer. This is a neural network architecture that introduces a building block for CNN that improves channel interdependencies at almost no computational cost. The SCNet block, called the squeeze and excitation block, adaptively recalibrates channel-wise feature responses by explicitly modeling interdependencies between channels. This is achieved by using global average pooling to generate channel-wise statistics, which are then used to rescale the input feature map. The AC block can be easily integrated into existing CNN architectures and has been shown to significantly improve their performance. This is the SCNet's architecture, and this is the SCNet's mechanism. Moving forward, this is our proposed architecture. So at first, the input images and ground truths are subdivided into smaller patches by gridding the high resolution satellite images. After that, the patches are normalized and then used for the training of the DeepRNet. The DeepRNet consists of 3 submodels, naming DeepLab version 3+, Tri-Level Attention Unit or TAU, and Squeeze and Excitation Networks. The DeepLab version 3 model extracts essential information from the image using a CNN encoder and reconstructs the output using a decoder. The decoder module improves object boundary segmentation results. Then the TAU model combines channel, spatial, and pixel attention schemes to enhance the feature maps from the encoder and the decoder. The TAU model reduces the semantic gap between the encoder and decoder outputs and increases feature relevance. At last, at the decoder phase, the ACNet model adaptively recalibrates channel-wise features that responses by explicitly modeling interdependencies between channels. The ACNet model is introduced at the decoder portion of the network to improve the segmentation performance. Here you can see the operational overview. And here is the operational overview, the flow I am explaining now. After the ACNet phase, the prediction is done for each patch by the base saved weight. And then smooth tile prediction is done to reconstruct a high resolution image. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible. Please continue.
Yes, sir. After this training, we are moving on to the evaluation matrix part. The evaluation matrix for each image are calculated by pixel comparison. Moving on to dataset description part. So we have used 2 open source datasets named landcover.ai and Gaufen2 image dataset, in short from GID2. In landcover.ai dataset, it contains high resolution aerial images annotated with 4 classes, namely building, woods, water, and road. It is useful for public administration purposes and urban planning. For the second dataset, GID2, it consists of Gaufen2 satellite images with 15 classes of fine land cover types, such as forest, grassland, farmland, and water. It is useful for land use and land cover classification tasks. These are our examples of landcover.ai. From A to C, you can see these are indicating the input images, and from D to F, these are our target images. Similarly, for GID2 dataset, from A to C, these are our input images, and from D to F, this indicates our target image. Moving on to next part, dataset preprocessing. So mainly dataset preprocessing was performed in 4 steps. At first, gridding, then normalization, then data augmentation, and then splitting. At first, the high resolution satellite images are gridded into 728 sub-images of size 256 into 256 into 3 using the grid and patch method introduced by Onim et al. The sub-images are normalized by scaling the pixel values from -1 to 1 using the shown formula here. The later part, the spatial position of the sub-images is preserved by bounding them to the grid and patch block. At the last phase, the normalized sub-images are used as input to the DeepRNet model for training and prediction. Moving on to the result analysis part, our proposed DeepRNet architecture was evaluated based on 4 metrics basically, namely accuracy, precision, recall, and IOU. The model achieved high performance on the landcover.ai dataset, outperforming the previous traditional methods by a significant margin. Our model also achieved good performance on the GID2 dataset with 15 classes, despite the higher class variation and smaller dataset volume. The training history of the DeepRNet model showed no overfitting and a perfect fitting curve for all the evaluation parameters. A comparative analysis between the existing literature and the proposed DeepRNet architecture showed that the proposed architecture is robust and only slightly affected by data volume and class variation. Here you can see the patchwise prediction of DeepRNet on GID2 dataset, then patchwise prediction of DeepRNet on landcover.ai dataset. And here you can see that our performance history of DeepRNet on GID2 dataset. Here you can see that no overfitting was present here. All of them gave perfect fitting. Same goes for the performance history of DeepRNet on landcover.ai dataset. Now, quantitative analysis for Gaussian 2 images dataset. So we got an accuracy of 77%, precision of 68%, recall of 55%, and IOU of 58% for GID2 dataset. For quantitative analysis of landcover.ai dataset, we got accuracy of 98%, which was more than the previous methods, precision of 80%, IOU of 80%, and recall of 79%. So our method has one potential drawback, that this architecture needs computation, has some computational complexity. The use of multiple attention mechanisms and network backbones can increase the computational cost and memory requirements, making it challenging to deploy on resource-constrained devices. Moving on to the conclusion part, we can say that our proposed deep TriNet architecture is a deep learning model for semantic segmentation of satellite images. Secondly, it uses a combination of tri-level attention unit, tau, and squeeze and excitation networks, SCNets, to improve the segmentation performance. Thirdly, it supports various network backbones such as MobileNet version 2, Exception, ResNet, PNASNet, and AutoDeepLab. Fourthly, it has achieved state-of-the-art performance on various datasets, including landcover.ai and GID2 dataset. And at last, our approach is novel and effective framework for urban land cover and land users classification. This is from my side. Thank you. Thank you all. And here are the references section. We have included total 16 references here. All of them are available in the main paper also. Thank you. Thank you all, sir.
Yes, Shakil, thank you for your presentation. Sumon sir, do you have any questions for Shakil?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Actually, the Suman sir is not here right now. I'm just asking what you are saying, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Okay. So, Shakil, what are the future scope of your work?
Sir, our future scope includes various analysis in autonomous environments also, sir. And we can apply basically this novel approach onto many image classification and segmentation needs, where we actually can we can implement this feature in large amount in autonomous systems.
Okay, thank you, Shakil, for your nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Shakil, I need to add on one thing, like you are not uses any kind of graph to representing the performance of your work. So you have done the analysis, so there should be some visualization you need to include. This is my perception about your work.
Yes, ma'am, you are correct, ma'am, but I have included these graphs. If you can see that performance history I have included here.
These are the result analysis you are used. Like any
Yes, sir.
graph or something like that, what are the inputs you are using, what are the outcomes are coming on the basis of that, any flow chart or something like that for your strategy which you implemented.
Yes, ma'am, there are. Let me show you. So, miss, the input is basically the two data sets, landcover.ai and Gaussian 2 image data sets.
That I understand. That this is my suggestion. Next time, please include one flow chart or something like that. So it will be look good. Like it will be understand from one point. Okay, here you are using. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, miss. This is the portion you were telling.
Okay, Shakil, it's nice presentation. I think, is there any other query? Otherwise, you can leave. Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
Okay. So next presenter, you can now stop sharing and you can leave the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next presenter, please unmute yourself and introduce.
It was supposed to be there in the participant. Actually, that paper title was not included in the sheet. It was included later. So, are you there? I think requested to be included in this session, so I requested him to be wait in the queue. So are you there?
So I think there is no one from presenter side right now.
Yeah, I think he has left.
Correct, sir. Only they are the internal people which I am able to see, sir, in a meeting.
We do now, should we actually already we are delayed by half an hour.
Correct, sir. So, sir, if they are not here, no issues. We can now end here, and we will inform them that they are not joined on time. Again, I am announcing. Is there anyone who want to present? I think no one, sir. All people are done.
There, I think you may want to request Sumon sir to inform him that we waited for few amount of time, but nobody responded. So I think the
Okay,
session.
sir. I will ask to Suman, sir. He will convey the whatever the discussion he will done with that particular participant. He will convey.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So concluding this session right here. Thanks to all the participants. Thanks to my post-session chairs. And I hope that the outcome of this session will be much more interactive for the future scholars and academics.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presence and enlightening us about like you asked a question, very nice question to the students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.